Greetings everyone, Tim Anderson here, aka Renfill, and welcome to the latest Project Dramond video, where today we're talking about a little bit about the main characters from the book series, which is sort of a work in progress. I've worked on 3 different drafts of who these characters are, how many there are, the races of the characters, the backstories of the characters, um, and we've finally settled on somewhat of a rough idea of who and what they are. And we're going to be going forward from here and starting to flesh out a little bit more of their backstories as we work towards creating the first novel in the Project Dramond series. Now, for those of you who want more information about the main characters and what's going on with them, their races and everything else, you can check out the post below, which is over at the Patreon page. And of course, pick up a subscription if you like what you see and you want to follow along with the project as it continues to get developed. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to this channel here on YouTube and hit the bell icon so that you get updates when future Project Dramond videos are available, as well as all the other fun stuff I do here on YouTube, like Lord of the Rings Online, the Cooking in Real Life show, Monday musings, read-throughs of different books, and so on and so forth. So hopefully you'll stick around for all the things that we do. Get a sip of coffee here. So when I started looking at how I wanted to do the main characters of this book, the first iteration that we had, um, Joey and I went back to the Chronicles of Dragonlance for 2 reasons. One, because I knew I wanted to have a multifaceted group of characters for the storyline, and they had a lot of main characters. But also because I wanted to know about the third person omniscient point of view that they used when writing these books. So I was like, it's best for me to go back and read that. And I'm still reading through the first book and just taking lots of notes on how they did that part of it. But when I say the first iteration, when Joey and I sat down, we said, well, the storyline in the first Dragonlance novel, I should say, is that the characters are all meeting up again for the first time after not having seen each other for 5 years. So they kind of had this, they went off and had their own adventures, and it's alluded to what they were doing. They were off searching for evidence of the clerics, of the gods coming back, and all this other stuff. So there was something that had happened. The party split up, they went off and did their own things, and they made a pact to regroup and meet up again at a certain place in time in a certain location. And we said, well, do we want to do it that way? Do we want to do a series of adventurers who have worked together for a long time? There's some credence to that. Or do we want to do something a little different? And so that led to me going out there and reading some other stories, watching some films, watching some other things, and I eventually settled on, and you're gonna hear this a lot because it crops up in a lot of our episodes, the Solo movie, the Star Wars Solo film, and Star Wars Rebels. And the Solo film resonates more with Joey, and the Star Wars Rebels outline resonates more with me. Um, and so once we kind of settled on kind of a shared vision for what we kind of thought we'd like to see in terms of a main character who is young and inexperienced, who gets involved with a more seasoned adventuring group um, who are doing something. Now, in the case of Rebels, they are doing things for a more kind of chaotic good reason, as opposed to in the Solo film, they're definitely doing things for, they're smugglers. It's not really about anything other than getting paid. So there's a slight difference in the types of things that are happening between the Solo film and the Rebel storyline, because in the Rebel storyline they're definitely more good. They're trying to rescue the Wookiees, and they're doing these things, these missions for the good of people, as opposed to just trying to get a paycheck. So once we kind of pivoted to that idea, it became more about, okay, so let's try to find a storyline where we have main characters that fit within that plot. And that led to the second iteration of characters where it's okay, so maybe they're a blend of smugglers slash, freedom fighters or something. And then by the time we got to the third iteration was after the last brainstorming session we had, brainstorming session 3, not brainstorming session 4, which will be coming out later, but the third episode we did when we ironed out the main storyline of the things that have happened like within the last year that have sparked this crusade from the church to hunt down magic users. Um, that was when we kind of said, okay, so these guys are definitely more than just, they're not smugglers. They're definitely, um, I wouldn't call them freedom fighters, but they were part of the, um, they were, it's a half elf, a high elf, a wood elf, and a brownie and a dwarf. So it's all non-humans, right? And they were living in or residing in or were there at the time it happened, and they got out of the city at the right time, but right as the lockdown on elves and non-humans started. So they kind of formed out of just necessity. And since then, they've just kind of been on the run together. And that bond has been built up. And now they're, trying to rescue others of their kind as they go along the way. Um, and some of them had been together for a while, but in terms of, maybe, these two are together and maybe these two are together. But what brought them together as a group was pure chance. And by the time they meet the main character, the kid, they've already been doing this for however many, 6, 8 months. We haven't finalized the exact timeline yet, but we pretty much know now by this third iteration who the characters are. Now, what I have not yet done is I haven't given them names yet. I'm pretty sure their sex is going to stay. I've determined who's male, who's female. I'm pretty sure that's locked in stone. The races have changed twice, but I think we've finalized the race right now. Um, and especially you'll see in brainstorming episode 4, we talk a little bit more about the overall storyline of the book and the story arc. And so there's a little bit more there about the main characters as well. So first and foremost, check out the post below on Patreon for more details about the main characters. You'll get the outline, the paragraph descriptions for each of the main characters within the primary story. And then, of course, don't forget to check out Brainstorming Episode 4 when that becomes available here on YouTube, because that's got even more juicy details about the story arc of the first book, as well as the overall arc of the book series that is being written around Project Dramond. So thanks again. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell icon so you get updates when future videos are available. And thanks so much for your support over on Patreon. Don't forget you can also join our Discord, hit us up on TikTok and see the daily updates. All of the links are below. Thanks so much, and I'll see everybody in the next episode.